What's up, y'all? It's your boy Vinnie-Dangerous back with another installment of 1430. Got a special month of February, in commemoration and celebration of the show on February 29th with all of the performers, with myself, Eddie Lowe, Camus, Malibu, P, Neem, the Aminus. I'm gonna have every member, every performer of the show on 1430, starting with a special guest. And I'm kind of rushing because I'm kind of starting late. Me and my boy was chopping it up before the show even started, and we kind of lost track of time because that's just how we talk. That's just how we talk. But yeah, I'm gonna bring him in. First person, you know, that you will be catching. Make sure you. I got the flyer here. I'm gonna have the flyer on the guest screen too, and it's gonna say tickets are on sale now. You could go to thepoorhouse.com or you can hit me up on Instagram at Vinnie-Dangerous, all one word. Link in the bio for my link tree. That's linktree slash Vinnie-Dangerous. But without further ado, my talented brother, freaking collaborator, one of my like one of my best friends in this music thing. I would like to say like he's like a brother to me. My boy Camus Leonardo.
Hey, how
Hey,
you
what's
doing,
up,
man?
bro?
Appreciate you. Thank you, man. That was a great introduction, by the way. Probably best introduction I've had thus far. So, good luck to anybody topping that, man. But shout out to you, dog. That's
Yo,
what's up.
appreciate it, man. I was just freestyling because
Hey,
I
that's what we
think I
do.
think highly of my brother. You know what I'm saying? So
Come on.
there was no thing to just bring you in with that kind of intro, man.
Likewise, man. I appreciate that. Thank you, bro.
So,
Means a
how
lot.
are you today, man? How have you been?
Ooh. I've been amazing, but like scared at the same time.
Mm.
Um, I think in life death is a thing to be afraid of, but when it becomes something that's prominent
Mm-hmm.
and something that's inevitable, you
Yeah.
have to learn to embrace it at some point in time. So, facing mortality, the humility that comes with that, because whatever we believe in, we could say we're gods, we could say we're this, we could say we're that, right? And nobody's right, nobody's wrong. Dig what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But at the end of the day, it's a belief system, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to it, we still face mortality as humans. So it doesn't matter if people come up with the DNA to live forever. We're not going to be able to do that right now. So
Right.
having that humility of understanding that, you kind of have a sense of urgency with life. So with that emotion, you kind of are like, wait, all right, let me do everything now, and it's so quick to burn yourself out. But then it's like, wait, hold on, let me play the long game to where you learn how to break it down in increments. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then so that way you'll always have something to do. So yeah, that was a long-winded answer for sure. But that's how I'm doing, man. How about yourself?
Oh man, I'm doing good. I felt everything you were talking about. Especially with like the news of Carl Weathers. And like we were
Mm,
talking, we was in like we got a group chat with me, you, Jones,
mm.
Michael, and Michael Washington,
Shout out
and
to the bros.
yeah, shout out to the bros, man. And like
Mm-hmm.
just him, he was expressing it. He's a film like Michael Washington that I'm speaking about. Like he was,
Yeah,
he's a very talented filmmaker and a very
amazing.
like fan of cinema. So
Hey,
he was
pull up to the
expressing.
Chapel Hill Black Film Festival for sure
Yes.
in February. Yeah, I'm doing. Yeah, man.
Matter of fact,
Shout
when
out
this
to the
goes
bro.
up on YouTube, I'll make sure I put the link in the description so people can check that out, as
Man,
well as the link to tickets if y'all want
come
to
on.
pull up on us February 29th at the
It's gonna
Poorhouse.
be a great month. Pull up on all of us. Pull up on the squad.
Hey,
Jones
we gotta
about to
do it
be doing
right.
something.
We gotta
Come
do it
on.
right for Black History Month.
There you go. There you go. Reunion, man.
But like when he
Yeah.
was talking to us in the chat, it just
Hmm.
really had me thinking about, as I'm getting older and as you're getting older, and like just thinking
Yeah.
about, how just thinking about your mortality, like you said, and like really kind of,
Yeah.
seeing that shit for what it is.
Yeah.
But, I always kind of find peace in like the the fact that I made it this far.
Wake it up.
Cause I ain't have to make it this far. Coming
Wake
from
it
where we
up.
coming from, like people go a lot sooner than that. Where we are now. So it's like
Wake it up.
being able to say that we made it to like our 30s
Mm.
is a blessing in itself. So I'm like, I'm just
Wow.
gonna take it one at a time and just be like grateful that I woke up. You know,
Wow.
yeah.
Wow.
So that's why I don't even, cause I used to be real afraid of death. Like it used to be one of those things
Oh
that really
yeah.
kept me up, and I'm having existential crises at
Mm.
10, 11, 12.
Bro.
So
Bro.
to be able to say I'm 31 is like a blessing. It's like
Wake it up, bro. Wake it up. That's
yeah,
real.
man. I wanted to ask you because we were gonna
Mm.
talk about it a little bit, which is like let's save it for the stream. Because I was
Right.
wondering about the chop. Like I was wondering what made you want to like make that big of a change? Because you've had your hair as long as I've known you. 'Cause we've
8 years.
known each other for a minute. Yeah, like so
Yeah.
this. So like, what
Yeah.
made
eight
you
years.
make that change?
I had to do the inner work first, bro. Like, you know
Mm.
what I mean? Shout out to everyone going a path that they go to. Sometimes people use like the symbolism because that's what all this shit is. Or can I cuss?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You can cuss.
Oh, I can.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, my fault, my fault. But everything is a symbolism at the end of the day. You dig what I'm saying? But we'll get into that, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I did the inner work first because I was 2023, dog, was like
Mm.
amazing. But like in the beginning of the year, middle of the year, boom, momentum was heavy flowing. Mm. Towards like the latter of the year, bro. Bow, 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 bow. I
Mm.
got hit with stuff back to back to back to back to back to back. So of course, in the moment, I'm not being philosophical, and I'm not like, oh, I see why there's a reason for everything. I'm pissed off.
Yeah.
Because like here I am trying to do the right thing, trying to be just righteous, period, right? Not like on a hyper positivity note of like, oh man, I love everyone, right? It's like just like your viewpoint on life. Because if you just kind of live paranoid, bro, like that's how people die early.
mm.
You know what I mean? A lot of anyway, the inner work that I had to do was learning my value without material things, without the physicality of this, right? Like I had
Mm.
to learn my internal value to where it's not only on me, but it's in me.
Yeah.
So being 30 years young, you dig what I'm saying? And still us having so much more life to go. Cause when you really think about it, we're only getting started. Now it's about to be lit. Cause we
Yeah.
got all the mistakes out the way out the 20s. Bro, but
Yeah.
the 30s, bro. Oh my gosh. And like you said, I'm just so happy that we can experience this. Like
Mm-hmm.
this moment here that's happening now is forever. Even
Yeah.
if we go on a physical note, you could type in Vinnie-Dangerous, Camus Leonardo, 1430 podcast. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
This is forever. So the inner work that I had to do, man, was realize my value. And when I let my hair go, bro, it's a lot of energy that was carried within it. And it
Mm.
was the real reason why I grew out my hair, bro, was when my mother was sick in 2016 and she was going through chemo, right? I
Mm.
was like, hey, after chemo, I'm gonna donate my hair to her. You know what I mean? Because she really loved her hair. And we Choctaw Cherokee, so it's like, you know what I
Mm.
mean? That hair means something to us, right?
Yeah.
So I was gonna donate my hair to her. But of course, the most high had other plans. So with that being said, I just kept it going. I was like, all right, why not? And I always wanted locks as a kid. So I was
Yeah.
like, hey, let me go ahead and do it. Right. But it just got to a point you just you're ready for a change, yo.
Yeah.
It's just time. And before I even went to my cousin Orlando who cut my hair, who's at Big Fred's in Durham, y'all pull up. Great, amazing barbershop, a lot of banter. You cannot be weak walking up in there. You got to stand 10 toes on any decision that you make as a man because
Yeah.
barbershop talk is needed and that's character development.
Facts.
Dig?
That is
But
facts.
with that being said, the night before I got my haircut, bro, I just, I sat there and I just showed gratitude with the experience of my hair. Of course, while it was still on my head, right? And just
Mm.
like embracing the times and the good, the bad, the ugly, but just understanding that it's now time for a new chapter. So having that moment within self, because I easily could have had a phone, right? I easily could have, because with being a content creator, bro, it's a thin line between like living and documenting. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So it's like you have to find your balance. People have different balances, but don't compare yourself to other. Whatever your balance is, that's what the right answer is. Whatever works for you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So learning with me, like that moment was sacred. I'm not about to. I can't. I gotta have something for me. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? We have to make sure we have something for ourselves. So the night before, that sacred moment was for me. So I allow myself to show gratitude within self, within my experiences, but also embrace this new chapter. And we here.
Yo, that's dope. That's beautiful, man. I knew that
Like,
was 'cause when I saw it, I was like, it felt like just watching the video of
mm-hmm.
you getting announcing the big chop and at the
Yeah,
barbershop. It felt
yeah.
like you were letting something go.
Oh
You
man,
know,
yeah. It was just like it's the era. You know what I mean? Like the representation of locks, right? Just
mm-hmm.
it's so many things. There's so many avenues. There's so many ways we can go about it, right? But just it's a part of you. But you have to. Once again, my lesson was showing that it was not only on me, but it was in me. So having
Mm.
that doesn't matter what I look like. Doesn't matter if I'm bald. Like speaking of bald, hold on. Let me just reveal real quick that I found out that I was not balding. It was just the way my hair is. I have very fine hair. And all that, like, bruh, just the locks was like pulling it down. My scalp was like, nah! Right? But I just want to show to the people I've been putting, like, you know what I mean? It's been coming back. You feel me?
Hey.
Low key, a little bit, right? So yeah, like of course, the cow lick in the back when you start brushing and shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But other than that, bro, it's like just realizing that because you know what I mean, with the locks, I was hiding the fact that I had a bald spot, and I was very like insecure about that shit. And I was like, damn. So I would do styles though, and when I would retwist my hair, shout out to Sunflower Locked and Lace. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
She was an amazing loctician during my journey. You feel me?
Mm-hmm.
Amazing loctician. So whenever she did my hair, she treated with love, care, and respect. But when you would part my hair, the bald spot wasn't there. You dig what I'm saying? But then when it would
Mm-hmm.
grow out, that's when it was kind of like that. So after a while,
Okay.
I realized my problem was it wasn't the constant retwist I was getting because I was training it then. So it wasn't like every month or every week type shit. I had
Mm-hmm.
a gap in between. But when my hair was kind of like doing its own thing, it would be certain times that I would style it and I would make it very tight. So it would just be traction alopecia right there. You feel me?
Oh, okay.
And it was just in that one spot. So then once I cut my hair and stuff, I had looked at it and I'm looking at the follicles. I'm like, oh, what? So even then, just facing that fear, facing that insecurity, right? And just having like, oh wow, okay, so I wasn't tripping, right?
Mm-hmm.
It felt good, man. It was just a big transformative moment, and I just want to inspire others and show them like I'm not telling people to like cut your locks off, right? But I'm just
Yeah.
saying when you get to a point in life where you know it's time to make that next step, as scary as it is,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta do it. And for me, I was inspired by other people, like my homegirl Jada. She cut her locks off. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? Like, and she had beautiful locks. So when I saw that she did that, I was like, dang, okay. Because of course I've been thinking about it for a minute, but I ain't gonna actually do it. But she did it, and just seeing that kind of planted the seed for me to kind of just be like, all right, let me see, let me just figure it out and like test the water. So then when it felt right, it felt right.
Yo, that's what's up, man.
Thank
Yeah,
you, bro.
like, and I hear people say that all the time, like when they grow their hair out. It's just like sometimes they get that urge and that feeling, but they don't know if they want to like make the change. Like sometimes
Mm-hmm.
my wife goes through her like her fits like back and forth. Like sometimes she want to cut it because she want to style it a certain way that she just can't do it with locks. But then there's other times where it's like, well, I don't know if I want to if I cut it and I'm gonna hate it and then
Yeah,
I'm like have to start all over. Like so
yeah.
it's I can see why like that inner turmoil. I've
How
never
long?
had the
How long
patience.
sis been growing her locks?
She since 2020.
2020.
Yeah, she like during lockdown, she decided to
Keep
lock
it.
them up.
Keep it. It's still early. It's still early. Yeah, she keep that. Keep that.
And I'll be
But what were you
like,
about to say though? Because you
oh,
say you was like you don't
oh,
really
I don't
what
be having the patience. I don't be
I
having the patience to grow my hair out.
bro.
I've tried a few times, and it get to a certain point, and then I just feel like it feel like what is it like? They be calling me, like the barbershop is calling my name at a certain point. It's just like,
I would laugh if I saw you with like a small fro. I'd be like, I'd be like, what?
yo,
Because
there'll
I'm
be a
so
couple.
used to you with like the shortcut.
There'll be a couple times where it's like, back in the day,
Mm.
money was low or something, and I
Oh, for
hadn't gone to the barbershop in a minute. So I thought
sure.
about what if I just lock it up, and then,
Mm.
but then it'd be like, I get an extra 20 or 25. Back when haircuts was still $20, uh, I get an extra 20 somewhere and be like, you know what, I'm gonna go.
Yeah, yeah. Nah, for real. I ain't gonna lie. Like that's real. You dropped the gem right there. Cause me personally, I'm biased.
Hmm.
So for my cousin, because the chop that I did, that was 50. But it was worth every penny because it wasn't
Yeah,
just a cut. It was the experience. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And that's what we pay for at the end of the day with money when it comes to entertainment or however you perceive it, right?
hmm,
But just right or self-care, right? Whatever.
right,
But the 50 for me was worth it. But just the change and haircuts, it's like you have to have a certain rapport to come at that level.
yeah,
Because let's say you and I go on tour and we pull up somewhere in Kansas City. I don't know why I said Kansas City, but it might happen.
yeah,
Manifestation is real. So we just go to Kansas City and we like, yo, we like need some edge ups, because we both got the shortcut now. You feel me? Now we could be
yeah.
like, hey, we might be that time for the haircut, bro. Let's go ahead and get that job, right? So we get fresh, and then we pull up, we got it, but
Hmm.
it's like, damn, you trying to, yeah, he like, we might do it still, but it's still like that. Oh, like, so it's crazy how inflation really affected everything. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And to say, with that being said, bro, like you really got to come correct with the experiences, which
Hmm.
leads to the topic tonight of guess what, y'all? 1430 podcast. Shout out to that. This is my first time on 1430. I was on Dangerous Minds.
Yeah.
But before this, I told Vinny I wanted to be the first person to interview him because he builds a platform to interview everyone, man. And thank you for even allowing yourself put in the. You are a father. You have a whole family. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And you still dedicate your time to the craft, bro. So that can't go unnoticed. We have to give flowers while they're here. So
Appreciate
with
it,
that
bro.
being said, I want to interview you so your audience can get to know
Ah,
you
shit.
more. You know what I mean? You know, we gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah.
real. We gonna take it there. Let's take it
All
there.
right, cool. Let's do it. I'm with it. I'm
So
with it.
my first question for you was on how I was saying of you being a father.
Hmm.
Must I add, you are also an amazing, prolific. Let's be specific on the words that we speak because they are powerful,
Mm.
but prolific artists, right?
Yo, thank you. Thank
How do you balance the two?
you. Well, I've always been a, just a reactionary artist. Like,
Mm.
whenever, like,
What's
these
that?
changes, I would say like, you know, uh, like I react to like the inspiration in my life. It's like
Mm.
I go through hard times, and then that's where like my music comes out, or like I'm in a better place in life, and I want to express that. That's where the music comes from, and
Right.
like so just like before I was a father, like it would just be me being out and about, like going through different things. Like now,
Right.
like seeing my son, like I'm not gonna give away too much yet because I'm still on the finishing touches of the
Come on.
album. But like this
Yeah.
new project is inspired by like like how like being with my son is like making me also reflect and like reconnect to my childhood and to my
Ooh.
like inner child,
Ooh.
and kind of like the duality of that. Like you look
Yes.
at your little one and you see like, and you look at little baby pictures of yourself and like see
Yeah.
like how y'all look alike, and just
Wow.
kind of like kind of, and then these different scenarios and stuff come up in your head, and you just kind of get to writing after that at that point.
Yeah. Wow.
So Yeah, like, and I think it also helps. Like, my wife is a creative too, so
Yeah.
like, she gets it. Like, if I need, I got this inspiration to get me, I need some space to like, get that out. Like, she's
Mm-hmm.
very understanding when it comes to that stuff, and like
Wow.
the same with her. Whenever she gets a burst of
Mm-hmm.
inspiration with her craft, so I
Mm-hmm.
I think that also helps. That helps a lot.
Wow. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So with finding that balance and knowing what inspires you, right?
Hmm.
As an independent artist. Now, the next question I'm going to ask you, I'm not asking you to give the sauce, right?
Okay.
But what I am going to ask you is like as an independent artist, right?
Right.
Let's truly wake up like everything that you do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we can just go on the music, but for you to hold your own weight,
Hmm.
right? To utilize your own platforms and not only utilizing your platforms for yourself because you smart, because you know how to like do it that way to where it don't come off as like selfish. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like in order for you to give, you have to make sure you're good.
Hmm.
So the artistry and how you present that is beautiful and inspiring. So for you to have that ability to build those platforms not only for self but for others, like let us know truly what it is that you do when it comes to recording, because you could say, oh, I go to a studio and somebody else does it for me. No, like
Hmm.
you are a one-stop shop. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like if somebody needs to record their music with you, they can, all right, graphic, you know what I mean,
Hmm.
interview, right, whatever, let them know.
Um. So, because I know one of the things we wanted to talk about was like, just kind of like the importance of like collaboration and, like maybe delegating a little bit. Because sometimes it's, because I, like with my latest project, right, that I'm working on,
Mm-hmm.
like I decided to like record myself. Wasn't by choice
Right,
in the beginning.
right.
Um, but it was like I want to record myself. I wanted to produce because I hadn't done that in like years. I haven't produced a
Mm.
project or produced my own songs since like 2016.
Oh
So it's
wow.
like, so I
Yeah.
wanted to get back into that.
Mm.
But I think it was just kind of, you grew up broke. You wanted to create, but you grew up broke, so you couldn't afford studio time. You couldn't afford
Mm.
uh, you couldn't afford a producer. You can't
Right.
afford to pay people for features if you ain't like got like people rocking with you like that.
Right.
So you had to like figure it out yourself. And I think
Mm-hmm.
you just kind of get into that groove where it's like you know as a creative, like you just get inspired and you just want to go ahead and do it. Like
Mm-hmm.
one of the things I won't do, I won't film my own music videos or nothing like that. That is like the one thing because I hate video editing, and anybody that is watch my podcast and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that, and I appreciate the people that rock with it, but my
Mm-hmm.
editing has never been the best when
Mm-hmm.
it came down to chopping the episodes up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the one aspect of it that I won't touch, and
Mm.
I'll delegate when necessary,
Right.
like,
Right.
but I don't know, I just feel like it was a live stream that I watched with T Pain, and one of the
Mm.
things that he said was you should learn every aspect of the craft, not to do it all yourself, but
Right.
so when you get into the room with those people, you know like how to tell them like what you want and what you like.
Communicate with them.
Yeah, like I like
Mm-hmm.
some people would throw terms at me like, what's your
Mm.
vocal chain, or like,
Mm.
what's like what key is this track in? And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. And I'm like, I to really kind of be the best I can be, I need to at least know enough to where I can have those conversations and be able to make sure that we like, I have to understand the language to be able to like communicate that stuff, and so the music can be as good as it possibly can be, and like we
Wow.
can really like get to the fullest potential of what we're trying to create.
Wow. That's real. That's real. So with having, right,
Mm-hmm.
that potential, but also having the ability to do that, my next question for you is when it comes to, because I think like with the independent aspect, my brain just went 8 places at the same time. So that's why I had that. Yo, my fault. I do that
No, no,
from
no.
time
You
to time.
good. You good.
But as an independent artist, you know what I'm saying? How do you fund these ideas, right? Because
Hmm.
of course we're not trying to get the big budgets. We're not trying to do the whole boom boom bam, but networking is very important.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you feel now when it comes to collaborating with other people and being becoming more vulnerable within your art and sharing that with others, man? Because yeah, I'm gonna let you speak on that.
Nah, nah. I like it had me thinking because I think there was a like I was talking about before with not understanding when people would ask me certain questions about
Mm,
like the music from like on a technical level.
mm,
I think there was a little bit of like insecurity there that would keep me from collaborating. Sometimes where it's like,
mm,
yeah, I got talent, but like because I don't have a certain level of knowledge when it
mm,
comes to like music, like production and music theory and things like that. Like I would feel like insecure
mm,
about like being in certain spaces.
mm.
Like yo, you are a dope like freestyler, right? Like when somebody could just put on a beat and like you could just come off top of the head and like really
Thank you.
like string it together and then make that shit sound fly.
I don't know how, but thank you.
And like I am an overthinker, like a
Mm,
motherfucker. So like I will have a couple lines,
mm,
and then my brain is already like has already started thinking of 5 different lines, and like
mm.
and I'm so like my worst critic. So like trying to put it together, like I feel like I'll
Yeah.
freeze because I'm
Mm.
trying to
That's what
get
literally
it
just
out.
happened to me. Like I was just like that.
Yeah, see, that's why I was like, yo, you good? Because that's me trying to freestyle. Like
Yeah,
I'll get a
yeah.
first couple good bars off, and then my
Right.
brain just like freezes. 'Cause I don't know where to
Nah,
go
for
next.
real.
And it's
Cause
like
it's like,
that kind of
yeah.
stuff was what will make me like insecure
Mm,
about collaborating. Cause like, yo, people, oh yeah, let's throw the cipher on, and I'm the only
right.
one that's not spitting. Cause I'm like, my
Mm,
brain is just, I'm afraid of like freezing up and then just
mm,
throwing the vibe off.
mm,
But now I don't know. I feel way more comfortable about it. Kind of getting some knowledge of myself, but just kind of being a little bit more confident in
mm,
my ability. Cause like, hey,
mm,
I may not know the technical terms, but to even if I like, I've educated myself, but even if I'm still lacking in certain places.
mm,
Like I know how to deliver my end of the
mm,
bargain, regardless if I don't know the technical this, that, and the third. Like I'm kind of like, and then it's as I'm learning this stuff, I'm starting to realize like I'm, like I said, I'm a notorious overthinker. So
mm.
now I'm like realizing none of us know this shit, like all of this shit,
Nobody,
like
bro.
yeah, it's
Nobody.
like there's gonna be some stuff that I know that you don't know, and then there's stuff that you know
Exactly.
that I don't know, and
Exactly.
instead of harping on what I don't know, just
Mm,
and like feeling insecure about it, just be
mm,
willing to speak up and ask. And
mm.
like, and then if I got something, some game that you may be lacking and that you're interested in learning, like I'll be
Right.
willing to give that to you also.
Wow.
So I
That's what
think,
it's about.
yeah,
That's
I,
what it's about. Like people get weary of saying we use each other.
yeah.
We do. That's the point of humans. That's the point of human evolution is to advance. We help each other to get
But I think
anyway.
people are afraid of being used being used without like any type of compensation. There's some people that
Oh, and that
will be
happens
in the
too.
studio. Like you could throw an idea out there. Sometimes you can write a whole song for somebody, and then they turn around and like they just use it. They take it, use it, and then they never give you any props or
Has
whatever.
that happened to you?
I mean it's happened before, but at
Mm-hmm.
the time I didn't really care because it was like sometimes you can throw out an idea that I would never use,
What caused the
and then just
shift? where you looked back and was like, hold on, I, what the, what happened?
Um, so it was like I would, you know how you be giving like, oh, okay, yeah, yo, you want a verse? Boom, like I got you. Um, hey man, you want to come over and record? Boom, I got you, no problem. And then it was like, you start to look up and you're like, man, hey, man, I'm working on this project. Can you shoot me a verse? And they want to they want to charge you or something. And like I've spit like mad verses for such and such. Now it's
What
my
the
turn. I got a
fuck?
project. Yeah, man. And at the time I felt some type of way, but at the same time though, this is a business, and people are trying to make money off of this
Man,
shit at some
business is
point.
personal to me, bro.
Like
You
I don't
still,
agree with it, and it's like one of
yeah,
those things where I wouldn't do that in the same position, but I can't really expect me from
the
everybody
same,
else.
yeah, the
Yeah,
same.
like
I get it. Nah, that's real.
and then you start to kind of look at it like that, and then you just then that's just the business at the end of the day. Niggas is trying to
Yeah,
eat. I didn't have a kid at the time when this happened, but I know he had a couple, so I'm like, he trying to get. And being from experience, I know like now I'm like, oh, this nigga just trying to get
survival
some
mode.
bread. Like he trying to in survival mode, and I think that's where a lot of that kind of comes from too, where there's some people like just certain aspects of like collaboration and stuff. Like if there's not a bag behind it, it's not even like also I'm greedy. It's just more of a I'm trying to get paid wherever I
It's
can.
gotta mean something.
Yeah.
It's not always monetary, but sometimes it might have to be that route because it is a business. You
Mm-hmm.
may not like personally know the artist, but you cool enough to know like, okay, well, this might be a good play. Let me go ahead and do this.
Mm-hmm.
But even if it's just like the homie, y'all already built rapport from the jump, it still has to mean something, period. Because
Mm-hmm.
although it is an investment, because regardless, whatever you and the homie do is gonna be dope, but it has to just you know what I mean?
Yeah, it
Like
has to feel right.
it has to feel right. Yeah. That plays a huge volume. That's why when it comes to like a lot of artists that I meet today, I'm
Mm-hmm.
very careful on the whole, yo, we gotta collab, we gotta do that.
Yeah.
Like, no, I make sure so that hey, get to know me on a personal level, and I
Mm-hmm.
want to allow you the choice. Hey, if you don't want to go the music route, cool. But as a person, you already rock with me. So the
Yeah.
probability of you wanting to do a collab is probably gonna happen because you already rock with me off GP.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, bro, like it's levels to it. But the way people make it business, it's like make gives them an excuse to be spiteful. And I don't like that. You can still
Yeah.
do business and be righteous. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So it's crazy.
Yeah, like I like with that situation, I ain't really take it, personal, just because it's kind of like because I was doing when he hit me up, I ain't even thinking about it. I'm just like, yo, I'm doing it for the love.
What's his
Like,
name? Sight.
what's his name? Nah, I ain't gonna call homie like that, cause like,
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do
yeah,
that.
cause we still cool people. It's just like I know, like it is what it is. Like I'll support you, but I don't know if I'm gonna hit you up for a verse because it's like it just may not be in the budget. But like
That's real.
when it and also when we talk about like it feeling right, because I can know somebody for years, and we might just be getting to our first collab, or like we still ain't did our first collab, because I'm very like I try to craft out my albums. I'm very strategic, and when I hear songs, like when I'm
That's a
putting
fact.
together songs, like it just has to be like, oh, I hear you on this song, because I'm always a fan of the people that I collaborate with. I feel
Mm,
like that's a big thing too. Like you have to be a
that's
fan
real.
of the people you rock with, because it's like, why
Yes.
would I? I'm not gonna do it for the look. I'm not doing it because I see you out here making moves. Like I can applaud you without trying to like just jump on the bandwagon. You know what I'm saying? Just for the sake of it. Like if we gotta, but if I hear a song and I'm like, oh, like you would be the perfect person for this song. Like with the songs that we've done, it's always
Mm,
been like I can't hear nobody else but Camus on this track.
fact.
It's like sometimes it'd be like, yo, either you gonna do it, or I might have to scrap it or put it to the side until you can do it, or if you ever want to spin the block and do it again, because it's like
That's a fact.
it just wouldn't feel right with somebody else.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact. You know what's crazy? You know what I learned too?
What?
Dang, that's wild that you said that. What I've learned is because I used to be, I'm still prideful.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna sit here and cap. I'm still prideful, but like to an extent. You know what I mean? I have
Yeah.
a certain level of self control to where I learn how to respond to situations versus reacting.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the sense of pride, one thing I've learned just on my journey, right, as an independent artist,
Mm-hmm.
like for a while, I thought like people didn't fuck with me. Cause I'm
Mm.
like, what's going on? And then of course it's easy to have like vindictive thoughts of like, oh well, they're probably jealous of me or they or whatever. You know what I mean? Or it's just you could
Yeah,
easily
your mind
spiral down,
goes. Yeah.
right? Because it's like going back to survival mode and protective mode or
Mm-hmm.
protective mode. Excuse me. I kind of just built a habit of just initiating of like, yo, let's get something popping, let's get it right.
Yeah.
Versus that waiting game when you meet people.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't talk about that. I'm about to speak on that right now.
Okay.
When you meet dope artists, like for us, it's different because we got rapport, we brothers. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But like on our journeys, when you meet other dope artists, especially like artists you rock with, especially when you're men, you have to be careful because it's like, damn, you want to be genuine, but you don't want to come off as like you sucking the nigga's dick. And then it's like you don't want to be like too cool to where it's like, yeah, I ain't too cool for you. So you
Yeah.
have to find like a median, and a lot of the time depending on the person, people can easily be like, all right, let's get that collab off. But it's really no substance to the like relationship per se.
Mm-hmm.
It's just kind of like, all right, you make music, do. But then what I've realized is like actually building that rapport. Now, this does not mean become buddy and best friends with every artist you meet.
Yeah.
But it's certain times to where there's that inner battle where you rock with the person. And it's like, dang. And it's sometimes triggering, but not in the sense of hatred, right?
Yeah.
Going back to how you say, like, just in life, bro, we all experience times to where we have our highs and we
Mm-hmm.
have our lows. And when we have our lows, and when we see like everybody around us doing what they do, whoop, 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 whoop,
Mm-hmm.
we feel a type of way. And it's not that we're hating. It's like,
Yeah,
right?
like you wish you were in a better place to where you
Right.
could be like out there, kind of like they are.
Exactly. Right. So there has to be a level of accountability. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And not everybody has that level of accountability. So when it comes to meeting artists, bro, it's always that like awkward period of like, hey, what's gonna happen? Are we gonna collab? Da, 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 da. But even if I get like ignored or rejected per se, bro,
Mm-hmm.
I've learned that my probability of initiating majority of these motherfuckers be waiting to fuck with me.
Yeah.
They like, oh shit, nigga, I've been waiting for you to ask. I'm like, damn, for real? And like, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
certain times like that, I'm like, damn, bro, like why we gotta be proper, but I can't be mad because I still deal with it too. So
Yeah.
just initiating, I think that's just kind of like my role, especially just for black men in general. Like, don't get me wrong, my brand Dame's dope art makes everyone smile. Like, it's however whoever perceives it a certain way, cool. That's on them. Right.
Mm-hmm.
But my like who I be talking to really
Mm-hmm.
is the black men. And it's not on no like oh I'm belittling the black woman's experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just a voice to say like, yo, it's I can easily talk about the reality of some people's lives. We're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna sit here and cap because there are some people who actually live that shit and they really about that.
Yeah.
Now there's a lot of people who's not.
Yeah.
Great directors and script writers. They're in the wrong field. Y'all in the wrong field. Y'all niggas that's really capping out there. Y'all need to write movies or y'all can go on Tubi. You know what I'm saying? YouTube. Like, bro, y'all in
Mm-hmm.
the wrong field, bro. Stop rapping and acting like somebody you not, bro.
Exactly. And
Stop.
I've been saying this for a while. I would actually kind of respect a rapper who was saying that this was a lie. Off gate.
Thank you.
I'm just a
No, for
very
real.
creative. I'm just a creative artist that can
Yeah.
get into character,
Right.
and I'm rapping from a perspective I did not live from, but it's just something that I'm able to like create amazing music from like getting into character. And
Right.
like I can respect that. Just
Yeah.
don't be out here pretending this is who you really are
Thank
and
you.
like misleading the people. And
Thank you.
like because I feel like the people that really do live those lives and they do become artists, like there's a duality there. Like they can give you the like the highs and the lows, like the positives and
Exactly.
the negatives. Like and I feel like that's where it's a little bit more balanced versus somebody who is just trying to emulate something that they've seen from a distance. They're only gonna highlight a certain portion of it, and that's very dangerous for people that want to follow that may follow in their footsteps.
Mhm.
Like I always say, like I'm not gonna act like you being brainwashed by the
Mhm.
rappers you listen to, but like if I come from a certain environment and a certain like and I'm surrounded by this stuff in real life, and I may not have other positive influences like older influences that I could look to as like a
Right.
compass.
Right.
So I'm looking to these artists that I see on TV and I hear on the radio, and
Mm.
like it may not be brainwashing, but if like you look like me, you've come from where I've come from, according to your music,
Yeah.
like you giving me the blueprint for success. So people
Facts.
will follow your blueprint if you lay the tracks for them, and then you may be leading them down a path where they end up dead or in jail and nothing else.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Oh,
And, and then that's like a
that's
side
real.
tangent from what we were talking about, but I'm like, yeah, that's always been my thing. Because people will be like, oh, well, these people don't make me do nothing, but I'm like, okay, cool. Like maybe because you don't like you had other opportunities, so you didn't necessarily have to follow down that path. But then there's other people that didn't have those opportunities, and they don't have like anybody else to show them a better way. That's the only thing they see that like can show them any type of success because they see the chains and they see the money, and it's like, all right, I'm gonna go do that.
You know what's crazy?
What?
Here's what it really is.
Okay.
It's a lot of these people who's playing these roles are very intelligent individuals.
Mm-hmm.
No matter if it's woman, male, non-binary, however you want, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like at the end of the day, a lot of these people who are playing these roles, you have to be smart in order to play dumb.
Mm. Yeah.
So the problem is not that they don't know any better. Because when you see the role, because now it's easy to live in this matrix in this virtual reality with our phones and social media and shit. Because perception, bro, oh my gosh, you
Mm-hmm.
can you have we all have so much power in our hands and not even realize it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So nowadays, the problem is with these characters, nobody's gonna check them because that's what we did back in the day. We checked your ass.
Yeah.
If you claim this, you claim that. Nah, I won't say I was doing the checking per se, but I had family members and homies who was about that to where it's
Mm-hmm.
like, if you say you about it, we gonna check your ass and see. If you from the West Coast, nigga, where your grandma stay? You from down south, nigga? What's up? You know
Yo,
that could be interpreted in so many ways.
that was my pops. My pops would say that because when you first start rapping, like when you
Mm-hmm.
first start rapping, you trying to emulate. You just emulating your favorite rappers
Mm-hmm.
at the time. And I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm listening to some gangster shit, like,
Mm-hmm.
and my pop, there's a couple songs where I might have said a couple things, and my pops just said, "Yo, if you put that out there, just know somebody gonna try to see if it's real or not.
Mm-hmm.
They go
Mm-hmm.
like they gonna pull up to the show, they gonna
Mm-hmm.
pull up to the video shoot, they gonna pull up to wherever you at, and they want to see if what you saying on that record is real life or not,
That's a
or if
fact.
you were fronting." And then I
That's a
was
fact.
like, I don't want that. I
That's a
was
fact.
and I was just like, you know what? Nah, we ain't doing that because that's not the type of shit. I want to have to live with all the time. I'm just fucking around making some music. So I just
Right. No, that's a fact. That's a fact, bro. It's crazy because as you stated, literally, with the character that's developed.
mm-hmm.
Because like literally when people say you can be whoever you want to be, it's 2024. It's bro. It's crazy out here. You dig what I'm saying?
It's true.
And
Between
it's
AI and
so,
filters, you don't even have to
bro,
be who you really are behind the scenes.
bro,
You don't even gotta look the same.
dog. It is so scary. And like the best part about it, what I love about our generation
Mm-hmm.
is that we had the experience of being outside to
Mm-hmm.
where you got to see whose bike was outside in the driveway and know who's who.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Kids will never know that, right? Kids are, I'm here. Hey, what's up, man? Life's been good. Yeah, hold on. I'm about to text you a meme. Hold on. I'll text you a meme. Like it's no, you know. So for
Yeah.
us to have the outside, but also like we was there in the beginning stages.
Of the
Like
internet.
we were the lab rats of the internet
Like it was like before. I mean, it was like, yo,
before it was publicized
yeah.
because the government and all them, you know, they've been using that for like war and all that different stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I ain't gonna say F stuff or fuck shit because it's like you need that defense sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But America, y'all niggas, y'all need to get y'all shit together, bro. Cause I ain't gonna sit here and be like, fuck y'all niggas, cause like being Choctaw Cherokee nigga, I know these are my roots, you know what I'm saying? And y'all
Mm-hmm.
colonizers came in and stole our shit. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not the type of nigga to say every white person because I have amazing white people in my life and I love
Mm-hmm.
them dearly. I will do anything for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bro, like even growing up when my parents was like arguing, I'm talking about police would pull up sometimes, dog. Like my next door neighbor Byron, his family, Miss B and David, bro, like
Mm-hmm.
they always let me come over eat dinner with them. I got to experience like that. Not
Mm.
saying that I didn't experience with my parents, but it was a little toxic. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
having that outlet, I was very thankful. And of course, they were white. So in my mind, I'm not like, oh, because I'm like, dang, they.
Yeah.
So I can't cap, but we do live in a system
Mm-hmm.
to where it's constantly reminded that white supremacy ruled. Because
Mm-hmm.
let's take it back to the independent artistry. Let's say a Vinnie-Dangerous were to go to like Universal. Well, let me not say names because people be weird. No, I ain't trying to get you. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I feel you. No, we
So
gonna say whatever. We gonna say
okay, say
whatever. You
less.
know
So
how.
let's say you get interviewed from like Universal Music Group, like Def Jam or somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like let's say for instance, boom, 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 they like this, then they like that. So
Mm-hmm.
then when you say, hey, that's not gonna work for me, what if they tell you to do something that you're not comfortable with? And then you say, no, that's not gonna work for me. See, they're gonna probably look yeah. But if you have an ally
Mm-hmm.
and they may relay the message, certain code, it's a certain language. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of people are like, make sure you get a Jew lawyer. Make sure you get make sure
Mm-hmm.
because we all use each other. We all
Yeah.
need each other. So in this system that we're in, where it's failing as we speak. That's why they
Yeah.
want to portray this fear of the end of the world because they know, yeah, stop the cap, fuck y'all niggas. We about to run shit now.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, y'all need us. This 99%. Fuck is you talking about?
Yeah, it was like I used to always believe what they not telling you.
That
Like
part.
when it's publicized and when it's allowed when the information is allowed to get out there, I feel like they've already ran the filters through that. They've already proofread that, said we good. We already got a defense for that, so we can go ahead and let them know this. But
Yeah.
all this other shit, nah, we're gonna tuck that away until we can figure out how we want to relay the information to make sure that it works in our benefit.
Well, nah, you got me dropping almonds, nigga. For real. Well, yeah, dang. The title of this is gonna be in, independent artistry, conspiracy theories, and life as a whole. Everything in
You know
between.
what, yo? Let me write that down because I really didn't know what the title was gonna be. I was just like, yo, we just gonna fuck whatever comes out. Then
Freestyle.
we just gonna freestyle it.
We freestyling.
But
But
yeah,
look,
like so speaking of collaboration, and we talking about like technology and stuff. Like
mm,
how do you feel about like the introduction of like artificial intelligence and things like that when it comes to, because there's a lot of people that's gonna look at that and be like, well, I don't need to collaborate on certain things now. Like, oh, I don't need a
Mm-hmm.
mastering engineer. I can use AI mastering. I don't need a mixing engineer because I could just do mixing, AI mixing. You could even like get a vocalist, like an AI
Mm-hmm.
voice, to do the chorus for you if you need somebody to do, some female vocals on the track. So, like,
Mm-hmm.
how do you feel about it?
Um, it's subjective, though. Cause it's like, who am I to tell the young kid who's in this room who's hungry, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who has the cell phone and see, like, we didn't have that experience of literally being able to like see what our favorite artist is doing. It was always that mystique.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you have this accessibility, right? Now you have like a band lab on your phone and you could just record and do everything in there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like Lil Tyler, bro, he all his verses and stuff, he been recording on his phone and sending it to them. And then of course industry, you know what I mean, engineers or whoever is on his team
Yeah,
do the thing. But he admitted, he was like, bro, I just be using band lab, boop, 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 boop.
I did not know
You
that.
know what I'm saying?
That's
Yeah.
fly.
So we're at a point now to where the accessibility is like that. Now, who am I to tell the young kid, nah, don't do that. Do it the old way. Go to these people. He
Mm-hmm.
might not have the means to do that. He
Yeah.
might be able to get that bag off of that. So instead of me saying like, nah, don't do that, I'm like, all right, bro, get your bread, do what you gotta do. But you're gonna come to a point in time to where it might be while you got the bread or while you not. But when you ready, that's when you
Mm-hmm.
come back to me because I ain't gonna force it on you. I don't have the energy. I don't.
Yeah.
Like we all have this rapport of trying to save the world, bro. We cannot. I'm sorry, we can't.
Mm.
We can't. The main thing we can do is save ourselves. And when we save ourselves,
Mm-hmm.
that bro, what? That's when it spread and that's when we affect others. So you're not selfish for looking out for self.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
That's
So
the biggest thing too. Like
mm-hmm,
because I'm so torn in certain aspects of it.
mm-hmm,
Because like like take 16, 17-year old like us, right?
mm-hmm,
And we just didn't. We may have not had the bread and the means to go to the studio, but we wanted to make something happen.
mm-hmm,
And it's like, okay, I can record, but I'm not. I don't know about mixing, and I can't. I don't have the technology and the money to like. I don't have the money to get a mixing engineer or mastering engineer. But I
right,
really want to make music and put this stuff out here, like
right.
AI, like for remedial tasks like that.
Yeah.
Because there's still like that I've used a mixture of like
Mm-hmm.
mastering engineers, and then like they like something like Lander or something, right?
Right.
Just
Oh yeah, I
like,
remember the land.
yeah, like that kind of stuff where it's like you can get something quick, and it's also like it's an affordable because getting an engineer to do your stuff is not cheap.
It's not cheap. So here's the thing though.
Mm-hmm.
When it's convenient and you got the talent, because sometimes you might need that AI mastering to show the potential. It may not be the full polish,
Mm-hmm.
right? But you never know, just off of energy and just off of the package the artist may have. That might just be the way in to where it's like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, I know like for the people like us who listens to like the Sonics,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna know.
Yeah.
But the majority of the audience, they don't
They
care
don't really
about
care.
that. Bro, if it feel good, that's all
Yeah.
they concerned about. So how you present the dopamine and the packaging of the music is dependent on the artist, depending on the
Yeah.
team. You know what
Now,
I'm
so
saying?
with like remedial tasks like mixing and mastering and stuff, this
Mm-hmm.
outside of because there's a certain level of creativity that's always going to be there for like a human touch
And that's what I was about
versus
to
like
say.
the machine learning.
Right.
But
Like
like,
the human touch is nothing like it. You
no,
can't see true artists like it you have to have a certain time frame in the game to understand what it takes to get that certain sound
mm-hmm,
because easily you could do an AI, right? So, like you said, remedial task when it comes to like, let's say you and I got a collab, we send in a rough back and forth. I might
mm-hmm,
not have accessibility to go to the studio, so I might need to do the little band lab or the voice memo, whatever is
mm-hmm,
used, and then I might, just make it sound good because I don't want it like too distorted or too rough. We're gonna use that AI.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like you say, when it comes to your albums, you're very clear and concise and detailed when it comes to how you are methodical with the steps.
Yeah.
So now when it comes to that level, right? Because of course it took time for us to get to that point.
Yeah.
So now when you're at the point, you have a choice. You have a choice. Your choice is I can still do the remedial and be lazy with it, or I could put in the work and, like you said, what T Pain said earlier, at least have a fundamental understanding of different skills so that when you work with others,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be able to have the communication to them. Because if you go to um, an engineer,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of engineers, a lot of the times they kind of just do a copy and paste method.
Yeah.
Now, in the studio, you have to be careful because when shit is loud, that does not mean it's like
That it sounds good
right,
because it may not translate depending on like
right,
what they're playing it on.
exactly. Now, going back to the artist of how you package the dopamine, it's on the
Mm-hmm.
engineers, it's on the producers. If you want to be lazy with your shit, cool. If not, cool. Like, there's plenty of studios out there. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, for me, what helped develop my sound was Absolute. Because the thing is, with Absolute and my versatility, Absolute Robbins, man, shout out to Bull City Sound Studio for sure.
Yeah.
But Absolute, like, he could do the industry sound if needed.
Mm-hmm.
But with him, he was like one of the very first engineers that was like excited to kind of figure out how to develop a sound. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
That's why I like going to Bull City Sound.
Yeah, like he actually cares about the artist, you dig? Which
Mm-hmm.
is why his rapport speaks for himself. You know what I mean? So like having that artist development with him and then being able to go to like a Michael Rumpel now, right? To where
Mm-hmm.
don't get it twisted, like we're both still learning. But that's what makes it exciting. It's not
Yeah.
like I found an all-hailing engineer or someone. I just have a friend who's like just as excited when it comes to its craft, and we happen to have crafts that helps
Yeah.
enhance what we both do. So it's just like you saying, going back to when you got P, of reminding you about that childhood, like
Yeah.
having adults who can also remind you, because having I can only imagine, and I cannot wait for that, bro. Like just to have that experience as a father, you feel me?
Yeah.
So it's like having our lessons of reminding us of what it takes, because going back, we have them ups and downs, bro.
Mm-hmm.
So now when it comes to the AI, you have a choice to do the lazy route, which is fine, it's cool,
Yeah.
right? But if you actually want to take the time to articulate the sound different, you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
incorporate your own language, right? Versus going to a this or that, which is already predictable,
Yeah.
right? And
Because they
it's
can only
fine.
do what has already come before. You can't
Exactly.
really get
But
creative and innovative with it.
right. And it's not like, bro, like we have the ear, and I'm sure there's a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people out there that has the ear to know what's AI and what's us.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? Like you can kind of tell the difference now. So that's the best part about it. Like a bar I said in my song, my project Bars is back in the song Piano for Me. Shout out to Element for producing. Shout out to the homie Nina Animus for featuring. Shout out to Michael Rumpel for mixing the whole project, and Max going for mastering the joint. You know what I mean? Community over popularity. You know how we
I was
do.
just listening to that joint too before we
Thank you,
started
man.
streaming. I love that
Thank
joint.
you.
You and
Thank
Nina
you,
killed
bro.
that.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. So in the first track, I said Poems from a Human, We Created AI. You, Tai Lu, and I met Ya. Stepping over obstacles, knowing I got lots to do. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
and then, oh yeah, I shouted out the homies, Danny Blaze, Kid Infamous. Whipping ain't easy, but I know this shit is possible. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? So, but going back to the AI reference, it's one of those things to where it comes from us. So it's just as much advanced as it is, we can't lose the fact that it's coming from us. So
Mm.
technically we're 10 steps ahead. So going back to certain people having an ear of knowing that the predictable patterns that AI has
Mm-hmm.
versus like a human ear who can get that snare for that one moment, and it's just like that climatic moment in the song, and it's not the whole spectrum, right? It's just like that bow, like that one moment where it hits like a Rick James ear or like a Quincy Jones ear. You dig what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's you can't mimic that, bro. You can't duplicate that. So I feel like if we can have a healthy understanding of learning to use AI for our convenience only
Yeah.
and not become depending on it when it comes to our human existence and our intelligence as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
we'll be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like an idea of like getting it out there, especially if you got like deadlines or something. I could see somebody using it, but you know, I think it's one of those things where it's convenient for if you in a tight spot kind of situation, or like you
Mm,
really, you may not be able to find the right people, you may not be able to
right.
afford the right people at the time, but like, over time, 'cause like you said, being in the studio with other people and like them also being excited, or like, you reaching out to another, like you reaching out to an engineer, even if you're like only communicating online, and like, they hear the rough mix and they're like, oh man, this is gonna be dope, and they get to like, doing, mixing it and like coming up with just these creative ideas of like how to enhance the
Mm-hmm.
track, and
Mm-hmm.
like you guys can have that conversation, that back and forth about kind of how, the ideas they might have, and how, how you've envisioned the track to go,
Right.
and do things like that. Like,
Facts.
there's nothing that beats that. Nothing really beats that. Like, I remember, like you were
Right.
talking about with Absolute, I was in, I was recording with him,
Mm-hmm.
on God Made a Monster, a couple
Yeah.
tracks,
Mm-hmm.
and like Retribution sounded
Mm-hmm.
totally different. Like in my head, like, I had like a rough draft that I recorded at the crib, and he started like just doing like creative stuff with the vocals. Like, I think I was down
Bro.
the hall. He was
Yeah.
mixing. I was down the hall, and I'm just hearing some of the stuff, like the little deep vocal effect, like,
Mm-hmm.
on the chorus. Like, that was
Mm-hmm.
his idea. Like, to
Yeah.
having it repeated the way it is, and I'm like, yo, that
That
just took it
delivered.
a whole nother
Yes.
level.
That makes because God made a monster. You know, I tell you, even like in person, bro. Like that is one of my favorite projects. Period.
Yo,
Like not even on
appreciate
no
it, man.
like from you. I'm talking about just period. And to have someone like Absolute have the ear for that industry, kind of like feel to it, but still authentic enough to where it's tailored to the artist.
Mm-hmm.
Like the drops, like you even mentioned, you know what I mean? The
Yeah.
drops, the deep voice effect, the pitches, like everything. You need that touch, and then
Mm-hmm.
Germ, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like just that project alone, dog, man. Wow. It's just one of those things to where I had made a post on Instagram on my story.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yo, can we just stop? Like, it was a repost. And it was like, can we stop saying like people are copying you and just say, bro, you inspire me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, you remember I told you, God made a monster, bro. That was the seed that was for Mercury, which was the seed for Damien.
Mm. Oh, see, you told me about how, God Made a Monster inspired Mercury, but I didn't know that's what inspired the Damien project. So you saying that inspired Damien project, or like planted the seed for the Damien project?
God made a monster?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
Oh yeah.
dope.
Like, of course, it was like a few other factors, right?
Yeah.
But one of the main factors was your album. Because it's one thing for me to listen to like a Cole or a Kendrick or a Drake
Mm-hmm.
or whomever, right? Shit, I'll even say Snoop Dogg. Fuck it. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, it's one thing to listen to them. And even with this accessibility we have within the phones and stuff, there's still that distance, right?
Yeah.
So it's like when it's coming from I'm listening. So it's one thing to like listen to it and be like, oh yeah, this is Vinny, da 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 da. And it's
Mm-hmm.
another thing to just get lost in it.
Mm.
Like take away the fact that you know this person, just really get into their minds for this time period. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And to be able to do that with God Made a Monster, having that accessibility of knowing like I know not only like do I admire the craft and just the artist and the artistry, but fuck, I know this person.
Yeah.
This is like my brother. Like what? Like what? And then I got the fact, and it's not, bro. We didn't even mention that we got a whole song on there.
Yeah.
But like that's how much of a real nigga I am. I can sell my brothers, bro. Like, yo, that helped me get to the point of Damien because I got to see what was feasible. Because
Uh,
I don't know everything that you've been through. Because
Mhm.
don't matter how close you are with people, you still have to keep some shit to yourself. And it's not even on
Yeah.
no vindictive, secretive shit, right? But that's just in general.
Yeah.
That's just in general. So I don't know every detail. But based upon what we share with one another, bro, we've been through some shit.
Yeah.
So to know of what, and in the same times too.
Yeah.
Remember?
Yeah,
Same
because it was
time.
like back to back.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So to have kind of like that experience of knowing like, yo, if he can get through it, I can too. Like it wasn't even just the music, just the fact of your perseverance of just remaining strong because I know the role you play when it comes to the fam. Like I know the role
Mhm.
you play when it comes to your life. Like it may not be broadcasted because you're not that type of person, but I know how much of a leader and a king you are in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
appreciate
you
it, man.
don't brag about what you're supposed to be doing.
Mhm.
So when it comes to that and seeing that, that inspires me. So like having like a you, having a Jones Michael, having a Michael Washington, having access of a group chat to where I have access to these three beautiful minds who has nothing but love for me and anything I need. Like what?
Yeah.
I got the cheat code. So going back to the original point, yeah, bro, it inspired Mercury particularly because Mercury is a depiction of a panic attack. That's something I
Mm.
still deal with. And it sucks because I have a weird relationship with weed. I love weed and I've smoked it since like an early age. And I feel like that probably has a role in it too. Because I've
Mm.
taken breaks along the way, but I've started early and I should have waited until, everything was developed
Yeah.
before I did that. Because anyway, that's a whole nother story. But with that being said, from time to time, I deal with panic attacks, right?
Mhm.
And the panic attacks now is more so of just this energy that I've been repressing. I'm now in the space of just channeling it, learning how to channel it.
Mhm.
Right. So, therefore, with that being said, I have an addictive personality. So, if I like something,
Mhm.
I love that shit. I'm gonna be like, let's go. So that could be like music. That could be music. You know what I mean? That
Mhm.
could be media. That could be podcasting. That could be acting. That could be directing. Like that could be whatever we want. That could be janitorial service. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? That could be shit. If you want to be an exotic dancer and get that bag for the short period of time. What they
Yeah.
say, make that money, don't let it make you.
Exactly.
But like
Players
as
Club.
long as you can't
Mhm.
allow that to stop you, bro. Like everybody has that gift.
Yeah, man. Yo, I'm honored, man. I didn't know that. That was dope. And you know what's crazy is that
Mhm.
Damien kind of inspired is like part of what inspired like tracks like Found My Way. So
Wow.
it's kind of like we kind of like feeding into each other. Like God Made a Monster inspired Damien. Damien is inspiring my new project.
Bro, nah, let me wake it up real quick. Let me wake it up. I'm gonna wake it up real quick because like I said, I ain't them two cool niggas. You was one of the first people to me,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like from a local standpoint, because like I said, don't get me wrong, I still listen to like a lot of the greats and stuff.
Yeah,
But for me, it's like I get so much more from people who I know,
yeah,
and I'm still inspired from them. So it's like an ecosystem that's created, like you just mentioned with us. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure if I meet a Cole finally, or if I meet a Kendrick, if I meet a Drake, shit, if I meet a George Clinton, Boosie Collins, you know what I'm saying?
mm-hmm.
Like, if I meet him, we gonna lock in. I know that.
Yeah,
But if I have these access to where I can see these people, because we're the ones who's up next.
yeah,
It's one thing to be with people while they at the top, but like really build with the people who's up next because you never know. So let's wake it up. You was the first person who kind of, well, I ain't gonna say like first person, but you really showed us that y'all don't have to wait to get interviewed by these media platforms, especially like local media platforms, because a lot of the times this is a popularity contest.
yeah.
Let's wake it up.
Mm-hmm.
It's a popularity contest. That's why not even just my motto, our motto, nigga. Community over popularity. Like I say that for us. I came up with that for us because it's like you showed me that you don't have to wait until other people to come and validate what you got. Validate your own shit. Build your own platform and interview the niggas that's on your project.
Yeah.
Let's wake it up. You know what I'm saying? For you to not only, cause like, bro, I saw a video of Jid saying what he said, and I'm so glad he said that.
What?
Jid said, because you know Jid is considered a conscious lyrical rapper, however people want to.
Yeah.
You know.
Okay. I think I kind of
Yeah.
whiff for what he said.
Yeah. So he said, I don't really listen to like a lot of lyrical rappers because it's like I don't really like that shit. You feel me?
Yeah.
And there's some that I can say I agree.
Yeah.
Right? Because yes, when I do my artistry, I wanted to mean something. I wanted to say something. Really, a lot of times I'm just doing what I feel, bro. Like it's not even calculated. It's just like I just want to get this out for me, and people happen to fuck with it, so that's cool.
And that's usually the best too.
You know what I'm saying?
Just, it ain't you ain't doing it for like, it's not a calculated release. Like, oh man, this is gonna get the streams, or this is gonna get like, you know, them. Like, you know, people kind of do it for an, you know, like they calculate it before they even make the music. Really, it's just like we're making a project to appeal to this and to, you know, to do these numbers. But then it's like the best stuff is just inspiration hit, and I just
the best stuff is fuck it.
Yeah,
that's the best stuff. Fuck it. Fuck it. Let's talk about whatever the fuck we want to talk about on this episode.
Facts.
Let's drop a project. You drop an album. I drop a product. I was gonna say problem. Damn. Album and a project, nigga. But an album, project. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, bro. That's the best. That's when the best shit is made, man. When you say fuck
it. Shoot. And like I feel the same way about as far as like getting inspired by like just people I know, like somebody like you, somebody like Jones Michael, somebody like Tracy Lamont. You know, it's like
shout out to Tracy, bro.
Yeah, like, you know, cause I'll be like, man, I listen to y'all, and I'm like, y'all make me want to step my game up when I hear like a project like Damien. I was just like, you know, sonically, I'm just like, wow, like from the storytelling, the vulnerability, like just how you and Michael Rumper's like production complemented each other so well. It was like. It made me go like.
Shout out to my boy Joyland too. He had some co-production on the album.
Oh yeah,
I just wanted to put his name out there because definitely Rumple and I for sure. But like, you know what I mean? You gotta give credit where it's due.
It was like, and it was a certain level of like catharsis I heard on that project where it was like, you know, you felt, you know, God made a monster. Well, I was just pissed off. And you know, like what Jid said about the lyrical rappers, sometimes I feel that way about like, you know, conscious rappers. And then I've even had this opinion about myself sometimes where you get to the end of the project and like I'm just kind of speaking about it and I don't really have any solutions. And sometimes that's realistic because like the reality is I'm just kind of aware of what's going on. I don't necessarily know what the solution is.
That's a fact.
It's like I'm not in a position where I can solve these problems that I see. Like I'm not a politician. I'm not, you know, I'm not and I'm not really an activist. You know what I'm saying? Like I speak on this stuff, but I can't. I wouldn't put myself in a position. I wouldn't say that because I feel like that takes away the power from the people that are actually doing it. You know,
exactly.
Like take the spotlight away from the people actually doing it.
Thank you. Wake it up, bro.
But like, you know, all I can say is that I'm speaking on it. But then there's a certain level of like, you know, where I get to the end of your project, I get to the end of the Damien, and I feel better. Like, you know, you've been through that journey. Like, you know, like I'm hearing the highs and lows, but I get to the end of it and I just feel like
because you got to learn how to mourn.
Ah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That was the point. That was the point of the experience. Let me just, all right.
Because, yo, that's, matter of fact, break that down. Because
I got you, bro.
That's a good one.
Okay, I got you. All right. This is my first time ever doing some shit like this. Give me a second though. I gotta pull it up so I can.
Okay, you know I'm gonna
Cause
pull it up
I'm
too because I'm gonna follow
yeah.
along on my phone.
All right. Cause I'm a little high right now. So give me a second. Where we at? Where we at? Boom. Okay. I forgot what I looked like for a second. I saw a nigga with no hair. I said, "What the? Oh, that's me." All right. So boom. So Damien. Okay. So originally, what I did for the project was I rented out an Airbnb. It was like a loft upstairs with my homies Michael Rumpel and Joyland.
Mm-hmm.
His real name is Brian. I be calling him Brian. That's why I pause right there. But he don't want me to say Brian, so I'm trying to remember to say Joyland. So Joyland, right?
Yeah.
So we rented out an Airbnb for the weekend, and they pulled up with the equipment. We just laid the foundation down, and I remember we was talking about Damien as a whole, and I just wrote down the solar system to like from Mercury to Pluto, or the sun included too, right?
Okay.
So with so now this is gonna be a mind fuck, okay? Because it was kind of like an accident, but then they found me. Like this wasn't the original plan.
Ah, okay.
So I'm gonna tell you what the whole aspect, right? So tread lightly is my way of showcasing the sun.
Okay.
The sun is very vibrant, right? But I'm talking about from a standpoint of outer space, right? It's very quiet, but just a big ass ball of light to where it's just like you feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's felt, and like if it really wants to, bitch, I'll get a solar flare and burn all this motherfucking shit down. But I'll let y'all exist. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the power it truly has, but to have the self control to not do no shit like that and allow other planets to coexist. That was my way of saying tread lightly. Like, hey, player, don't get it twisted. Like, just because I shine, that don't mean I'm shady. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So tread lightly. Notice how in the duality of the first track, it was kind of like me talking my shit, but it was like in a fast pace, kind of like a right. But then it transitions to the second side of the track to where it's like now you get the melodic feel and just now I'm talking to you versus talking at you. I'm now showing you a duality of I can talk my shit, but this is what I really do it for. So tread lightly. So then after a song like that, it's easy to come off as the preachy nigga.
Okay.
So then remember I told you Mercury is the planet right after the sun.
Okay.
Okay. So with Mercury being there, Mercury is a fucking panic attack. Because now I'm showcasing my vulnerability on what I deal with. Because remember, I told you I like with my relationship with weed. You know what I mean? And just how the panic attacks that I've had, but what I've learned was the panic attacks was in me. You know what I mean? It wasn't the weed. I was just using weed as a scapegoat. Or as, oh, weed did that. And I had a tendency to make excuses, right? And blame it because I didn't have the level of accountability yet. Right? So now Mercury is a representation of my pride. Third track is guess what? Lush. And what's that? Venus. You know what Venus represent? Femininity.
Okay, I was about to you gotta tell me.
No, I got you. I just wanted to give it that pause to give it that.
In my head, I'm like, I feel like I should know this, but I didn't.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I just wanted to throw that alley to give that suspense. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, I feel you.
But no, I'm playing. But Lush is the third track. And Venus, and that represents femininity. Nigga, check the credentials, check the receipts. I'm the first. If we want to take it there, because I don't even move like this and I ain't that type of dude, but if we really want to take it there, I'm the first hip hop artist to give a black trans woman a platform. First heterosexual male to do that, right? And you got these people out here saying they allies and shit and showcasing and being performative while I'm just like, first of all, I don't even see it that way, but I'm talking my shit now. You know what I'm saying? Because before I ain't do that, but I'm talking my shit now because apparently people like that.
Yo, shout out to
So,
Sonny too, cause y'all both rip that song.
bro,
I love that
amazing
song.
artist, Sunny. So, like, with that being said, like, it's one of those things to where that's my sister. So the relationship Sunny and I have, Sunny is the motherfucking friend that's like, yo, talk your shit. Like, nah, get in your bag. Like, nah, you that nigga. Like, let's go. So
Yeah,
then
that's
that's why
dope.
you got the video, right? Shout out to Michael Rumpel, Garrett Barefoot, Sycamore Restaurant, Matt for allowing us in, and you know what I mean. Everybody that was a part. Oh, Deja, who was the waitress who handed me the noodles. You know what I mean, the
Yeah,
hot
okay.
sauce. You dig what I'm saying? So like, it was a dope experience. So the Lambo that we had in there,
Mm-hmm.
that was thanks to Michael Rumpel's coworker. We did not pay for
Mm.
that. He
Oh,
pulled
that's
up off the
dope.
strength. He was like, "Oh, I like what you guys are doing, so I just want to, I just want to support. You just need it there, cool.
Yo, that is fucking
You know what I
dope.
mean?
That's dope.
So just pulled up there. So in the video specifically, you got to be a real nigga to know like when you can have your moment, but also create another moment or the moment. So within Lush, notice how the climax was Sunny.
Yeah.
In the song and the video, because the Lambo won't introduce until Sunny came out.
Yeah.
So that was me paying homage to, you know what I'm saying, like the relationship that we have, because she always be like, nah, nigga, get in your bag, talk your shit. And I'm like, you right, sis. Like conversations we have, she was like, what you wearing to the Grammys? Randomly, and I just go with it. Like, bro, it's a different type of language. You know what I'm saying? So I had to pay homage with Sunny. So then after, Venus, we got Earth. Just Fly.
Okay. That's
Coming
my
back to
favorite.
Earth.
That's my favorite joint too.
Right.
Not
So,
between that one and we'll talk about that later. But I was like, yeah, I love Just Fly.
oh word, thank you, bro. But like Just Fly, um, it's like Earth, right? So then now with Earth, I'm back to Earth. You know that saying, back to Earth. Now we grounded, right? So Just Fly was like after I was in my cocky bag and my prideful bag. Well, not prideful per se, but just like sometimes we use that pride for protection, that ego. Thank you, that ego.
Yeah. Okay.
So the ego was kind of like for Lush, but in a healthy way, not in a toxic way, because you need that. Just Fly was like my way of showing people, like, I'm really just afraid, which is why I move with a sense of urgency. So, however you want to interpret it, to where, as a bird, there comes a point in time in the nest where you got to fly. You can't just stay in there because you ain't going to survive. Or if you a caterpillar and you don't, become a butterfly, because you literally decompose into gunk before becoming a butterfly.
Okay.
And there's a lot of times where you can stay in that gunk. So the problem is with humans is with the caterpillar, bruh, if it does not become a butterfly, that shit dies. We have humans who are content with being caterpillars. That's the problem. We don't have that sense of urgency where, like, if you don't make that choice, nigga, that's it.
Yeah.
Imagine if people had that sense of urgency and like where people would be.
Yeah. I mean, even if you took off and you crash landed, at least you knew. You know what I'm saying? Like you won't be living with a whole bunch of like. You don't all live with that feeling of like, damn, I should have did this or damn, I should have did that.
Bro, the greats are big fuck ups.
Yeah.
They just fucked up until it got amazing.
Yeah.
Like the greats, the people we watch, people we study, you know what I'm saying? Are fuck ups.
Yeah.
So
like, yo, you got to take that risk. You got to take that risk.
You have to.
Because it's like, man, this shit didn't work out. This movie idea tanked, or this album, like I tried to experiment, that shit didn't work. Right. All right, fine. We learn from it, and we just make sure that we take those lessons into the next project, and then just
you know what's crazy? How much you want to bet we not gonna see, like, because we're still gonna keep pushing. But for God Made a Monster and Damien, we're not gonna see probably about good another 3 to 5 years. Just because those projects alone, bro, we were like
we were ahead of the game.
You know what I'm saying? Like we
Yeah.
was, but thankfully now we're in a day and age to where someone who inspires me, bro. I gotta give everybody their flowers while we on this stream, but like Alex App, bro.
Yeah.
That nigga is his own algorithm.
He's definitely like the most
You know what I
consistent
mean?
dude.
Right.
Cause he just be plugging. And I asked him like, yo,
That's
how are
it.
you able to get it? And he's like, yo, I just kept putting stuff out, just kept putting content out, putting the music out, and then.
But
like,
you know what it
eventually
is,
something
right?
stick.
But no, like I feel like if he had that mentality to where he was waiting till something stick, he wouldn't have the catalog he did.
Yeah.
He's at a point now to where he's not trying to hit with every song. He's just like, bro, I'm getting it out because I know it's gonna be that one. So then when you look back, you'll have a plethora of shit to experience.
Yeah.
Which is genius. Because all it takes is that one listen from that one song, and when you check the catalog, you like, damn, I have so much to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So he's low-key giving people the blueprint. Like, if you really watch him and listen, he's giving us the game.
Yeah.
Freely. For free. I told that nigga. I was like, nigga.
Yeah, he might want to start charging on it now.
But he is, though. You know what I mean? He got his business things could be worse. Shout out to him. You know what I mean? Shout out to that.
Okay.
And like with the merch and stuff, I'm copping me a hoodie very soon. But it's about to get hot, so I might get a t-shirt. I don't know. Trying to get more muscle before, you know what I mean, start rocking tees. Thankfully, my legs always been on point. It's just I got long arms. So it's like when I'm in the gym, bro, I got to be consistent because I have that one day where, you know, you look swole as hell and then niggas get too cocky and don't go back.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like, I'm going to definitely cop that. You know, I still got that God Made a Monster shirt too, by the way.
Yeah.
Y'all make sure to go cop that as well.
Yo, and I need to get some Dame socks. I've been meaning.
Oh, say less. I'm about to get my shit together with my merch just because of like I had to find a new manufacturer and shit. Okay. So now that I got there, and it's from a standpoint to where we built rapport, built a relationship. Because once again, remember I told you how I was saying earlier with artists, like I don't want to be like, hey, let's collab, let's do this, let's do that. I kind of built rapport to where I'm like, hey, you know, I like what you guys are doing. How can I be of service? You know, I have my own platform with Dames Worldwide or Camus Leonardo, however I want to present it. You know what I mean? I'm not like million followers or nothing, but I have some form of influence. Mm-hmm. So if you want to rock it to where, you know, you may have some socks or something, let's do it. You know what I mean? And it's just shouting out, just boom, boom, boom. And then it got to a point where it was like, yo, didn't you make socks before? And it's like, yeah. Right? So now it's kind of organic because you're allowing people to give them a choice. Just like shit, if you're dealing with women or just dealing with another partner or another person, like you have to, well, my experience with women, right? Yeah. Like a lot of times there's men out here who take the masculinity thing to their head. Yeah. And they like OD with it. You know what I mean?
Red pill type niggas, right?
Yeah, like I hate them niggas. Y'all, they right? So with their mentality on how they operate, they don't realize that they're trying to control literally everything. Mm-hmm. Right? That makes the coochie dry as hell, my G. If you trying to get that shit wet, like slippery when wet, you know what I mean? Proceed with caution. Like don't slip on the floor. Give them a choice. I guarantee you will be okay. Just give them a choice because if you come off too pressed, but if you come off too cool, that's when they protect themselves and get distant. Mm-hmm. So but you have to know yourself. And I feel like with that alpha mentality, it's so easy to get caught up in that because a lot of them niggas is hurt. Yeah.
And I think that's what it is, because I guess that kind of goes back to our, talking about collaboration, because there's there's a certain level of like self-preservation, but you gotta like kind of let your guard down if you really want to make real connections out here, to a certain degree. Like we were talking about before, like I don't mind being a fan of somebody. Like it's not like not dick riding, but I think there's just certain people that's just afraid to go, yo, I really rock with the shit you got going on. Like I'll catch somebody at a show or open mic or something like. They might be performing, opening up for somebody that I rock with. So I pull up to the show and I'm like, "Yo, they are dope," and I'm not afraid to roll up on you. Like you don't know me, but I just heard what you did, and I saw your stage performance. I thought that shit was dope, and just keep even if it ain't even like on some trying to make a connection thing. It's just like the same way that I would post about my favorite artist, like Kendrick or Cole or somebody put out a song and I really thought it was dope, and I'll let the world know. I was like, yo, I'll let you know too. Like I thought your shit was dope,
Yeah.
and just kind of leave it at that. Like I think there's a lot of people that because they could just take that and just keep it pushing. Like you said, give them a choice. Because they could just say keep it pushing. They could even, I don't know, be an asshole. Like I just complimented you, and they still like for whatever reason, they still want to be a dick about it. But I'm
Nah,
like,
for real.
it's like all right, whatever. Because at that point, I just wanted to just be honest and be like, yo, your shit is dope. Because the last thing you want to be is the guy that's at the show. Like back when we used to do open mics and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Last thing you wanted to be was the rapper that was just like this the whole time. Like you rock with that shit deep down, you rock with that shit, but you like, nah, but you can't let them know, bro. I can't give you more attention than I want from my performance or whatever.
Them niggas is weird.
Weird. Like you just see them like they standing up front. They stand up front and then they tell you after the fact, like after you got off stage, and like wait to know everybody in the back and be like, yo man, I really fuck with that shit you was doing. And I was like, all right, but when you was on stage and I fuck with your shit, I was like, you said put your hands up, put my hands up, like I'm rocking with it. I'm just like, I feel like we should just all give each other that love, because it's like just be genuine. If you really fuck with the shit,
them niggas.
be genuine.
Fuck them niggas. Let them be insecure in their own right. It's survival of the fittest now, bro. I'm tired. I'm tired of trying to say these motherfuckers, bro.
Facts.
Like it's survival of the fittest at this point. If you still insecure over shit like that, you move like that, bro. You can't even, bro. You're not worthy of my energy, of my time, of my love. So at this point, 4 quarters is more valuable than 100 pennies. But that's the hustle. That's how niggas is hoodwinked, because with the 100 pennies, it could look like it's a lot, but nigga, like nobody's gonna. If you have to trade 1 penny in order to receive some sort of value versus 1/4, nigga, you're always gonna get an ROI, return on investment. You dig what I'm saying? So spiritually, not just monetarily, I'm speaking from a whole perspective. But less is more. Yeah. So we got to stop thinking like, oh, I have all, bro. Like now, if I'm gonna talk my shit, just because you inspire me, because you talk your shit on your platform, you just you inspire niggas to get in their bag. So let me get in my bag real quick. So I've never hid my like counts. I want people to see that I still kept my shit up there despite, because there's gonna be some shit that hit. And there's gonna be some shit that don't. But what I respect people who don't care. And they still put it up there and they still go. How many episodes did you have, like before you made the transition, right? How many episodes total did you have of Dangerous Minds podcast?
Shit. I can't even think. Oh, you mean exactly. As far as before I made it change to the 1430?
Yeah.
Oh, it's like 105.
Bro.
Yeah. It was I remember because it was like, I appreciate it. I was trying to hit 100. I was going to hit 100 and then be like, but then we just kind of kept going at that point. And then I was just like, all right, now I definitely, because life shit was happening and shit. So like, all right, so now, all right, we need to stop. So 105, shout out to my boy Jay Breeze. He's the last guest on Dangerous Minds before, because he hit me up. He was somebody that I wanted to do an interview with for a minute. Just schedules wasn't lining up.
Yeah.
And I was like, but then he hit me up and we both were just free, and I was just like, all right, I'm gonna make sure I get him in. Then before that, I think it was Michael Washington. I want to make sure I got an episode with him in.
That was a great episode too.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite like combos on the podcast. Like, so
he
I
be
was
dropping
like,
gems. He's still an asshole, and I love him for that.
Yeah,
I really love him for that. Like, I really love him for that. But like, the older I get, the more I get it.
Yeah.
The more I get it.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
I think that's why
Like,
we connected, because it was like I can be an asshole. Like, he's a very giving guy. Like, you know, when he sees something in somebody, but he's also not afraid to be a dick.
Exactly.
to
And I love that because, like for an example, me, you, Jones, and Michael Washington. You know what I mean? Like, we can all speak on how we feel about something. You know what I mean? If we don't agree with some shit, I know for a fact that where it's like we can be real with each other. You know what I mean? And but bro, what time is it? 9:36.
Yeah.
Whoa! How long have we been talking?
Yo, about hour and a half. Yeah.
That's y'all. See, we're gonna package this on our own platform. It's gonna be called Dangerous Dames.
I like
you know
that.
What I'm saying? We're gonna
write that
exclusively.
I was about to say that you came off the top of the head with that, and I'm like,
we're freestyling. We're freestyling, man. But nah, bro. Thank you so much for having me on this platform. It felt good for us to freestyle because it's been a while since we had a conversation. And just going back to how you were saying, like, with scheduling and stuff, man, we both out here doing what it is we got to do, living our amazing, blessed, beautiful lives. You know what I mean? Despite whatever it is we go through, we still gonna keep it pushing and make it the best. But I cherish these moments here, man, where we have these pit stops with your brothers. You know what I mean? It don't even got to be your brothers, but just your peers, bro. Like, just people who's in the same path, and we can sit here and have an authentic moment, man. And not only for ourselves, but someone out there who's listening can really tap in and be like, wow, I can relate to what either or both are saying. You know what I mean? And that's what it is about, bro. Genuine moments. So shout out to like you for building 1430 for stuff like this to happen, because for me, I don't take this lightly, bro. I don't even get interviewed. Nobody don't be asking me for interviews. You know what I'm saying? So you was the one who taught me, nigga. No, that's why you had a Kickback at Dame's podcast, which turned into like a show, which is going to turn into a festival. Let's wake it up. Dig what I'm saying? But with that being said, guess who was there to where actually, let me have this full circle moment real quick. So with you having a Dangerous Minds podcast, seeing how you move with that, which inspired Kickback at Dame's podcast, guess what I did?
What?
Put you on the show. I put you on the podcast. And you remember that was like our first interview. You know what I'm saying? That we had to get. I still be watching them shits. And I just be like, damn, because of course after that, I had already recording. And our recording was still could have went, but like that's when everything happened with the house.
Oh, okay.
Right? Yeah. So when everything happened with the house and I had to leave, or we had to leave, that's when I was like, well, I don't want to try and like recreate that. Yeah. Just because like those moments were so sacred. And the objective was I easily could have interviewed somebody who was like popping or who's known and like, you know, a little more popular. But I really wanted to interview the people who's behind the scenes and like who's really part of the culture here.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying?
That's love right there.
Right. You see me to where a lot of these podcasts and interviews, bro, you don't see niggas having like interviews with all types of people. Nigga, I remember one nigga hit me, was like, bro, Dames, I ain't gonna lie. I saw you interviewed with the homie Blake. And when I tell you Blake, shout out to my nigga Blake. Blake is flamboyant as fucking don't give a fuck. Yeah. But when I tell you that motherfucker got one of the biggest hearts, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I had a homie hit me. It was like, bro, like, that was crazy how you was able to interview and still be yourself. You know what I mean? That was cool as hell. And I understood his intent, right? Because as a nigga, I get it. Right? But at the same time, it's like that's what it's about, bro. You want to break down barriers. So seeing you do that, that's what inspired me, and I think that's what it's truly about, bro. Having that ecosystem where we keep each other inspired, man. And I'm honored to have you as a friend and have you and consider you a brother. I like I said, 4 quarters is more valuable than 100 pennies, bro. I don't consider niggas my brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, thank you, bro. Like, thank you for doing this because, like, as we stated, this shit is gonna last forever. You know what I mean? Like,
Facts,
when
man.
we older, when we have our kids and grandchildren, bro, I can't wait till we pull up to each other's crib and one day we just happen to go down all of the documentation of when we was like active and moving and stuff. We was like, dang, bro, we really did this. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what
Yeah.
I'm ready for. I'm ready for us to just live the lives that we deserve, bro. And why not? Why not now?
Facts, man. Well, yo, that was beautiful, man. And like, yeah, I'm, because most of the time we be having like shit planned out. I'm
Yeah.
glad that we just kind of freestyled it because this is
Same.
like, yo, this was so much fun. This was so
Same,
much fun
man.
just talking to a brother, like
Yeah.
just having these conversations, just like how we do, when we get together, even when the cameras is off and the microphones is off.
We had to
That's how
save
we
it
do
for the cameras this time.
Yeah.
We had to make sure.
We
this
was
time
ready
we
to
had
catch
save it.
up. It was like, yo, it's
Yeah.
like, what, 15 minutes beforehand, we already ready to catch up. It's like, nah, we gotta save
For
it.
real.
We gotta save it for the
Yeah.
show. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, make sure y'all follow my boy, Dames Worldwide.
Thank you.
I'm gonna make sure I put everything in the bio. Also, like when we put this on YouTube, make sure you check out Bars is Back with your collab project with Neem.
Yes, bro.
And we're gonna have Neem on the show.
Mhm.
Before the month's over, because he's also
Come on.
performing at the Poorhouse.
Oh, tell him. I was about to say, tell him about the show.
Make
Tell him
sure
about the
y'all
show.
pull up.
Come on.
Man, I
Oh,
promise.
I can't wait. I can't wait to promote it too, boy. I done turned into like a little business now, so I be having like little rollout schedules and shit.
Okay.
So it's cool. But like the week I promote it, bro, I can't wait for y'all to see. Oh, and even with this alone too. But yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited.
I'm excited, yo, and like, make sure y'all check out Bars is Back so y'all know the type of artist and Damien, because y'all just got like, we talked about the meaning of the songs and everything, so like it's gonna hit
damn, we
different
did
when
it.
you hit the stage with some of this music too. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
make sure y'all follow my boy. Make sure y'all pull up at the Poorhouse February 29th.
Yes.
But it's been
What time?
Vinnie-Dangerous. Oh,
What
at
time?
8 p.m.
8
Doors
p.m.
open at 7.
Come
Show
on.
starts at 8.
I'm so excited.
Tickets are on sale now. And
Yes.
you see on the poster,
Yeah.
like early bird tickets are on sale right now. Get that
Come
at the
on.
discount.
Yes.
But yo, until next time, it's your boy Vinnie-Dangerous, Camus Leonardo, 1430. Much love.